Starbucks first opened its doors in 1971 in Seattle. The name was originally inspired by the novel Moby Dick, creating an aesthetic appreciative of the high seas, the home of the early coffee traders. Howard Schultz, later CEO of Starbucks, traveled to Italy and was impressed by the romance of Italian coffee houses. He wanted to implement this into Starbucks, and he called this the third place, a place between home and work, a place for conversation, communication, and connection. This later led to their mission, to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. Starbucks holds itself to a high standard with values such as creating a culture of warmth and belonging, where everyone is welcome, acting with courage, challenging the status quo, and finding new ways to grow our company and each other, being present, connecting with transparency, dignity, and respect, delivering our very best in all we do, holding ourselves accountable for results. Starbucks later used their values as a means for a future campaign called Every Voice Has a Story.
Gemma Miller?
Gemma Miller, please come to room 4.
Hello?
Hello, am I talking to Gemma?
Hey, Dad.
Hey! Carol, you remember my Gemma?
Gemma? I do.
And what's your name?
It's James.
James?
A huge part of the Starbucks experience is asking and putting a customer's name on the cup. It signifies a warm welcome to their coffee shop and also symbolizes a connection between the barista and the customer. Starbucks found that a large number of people within the transgender community found solace in this policy. It was a place where they could try out their new name without questions or judgment while transitioning. With this information and a strong hold on their values, they decided to launch a campaign called Every Name Has Its Story.
Starbucks recently partnered with a company called Mermaids to start a new campaign. Mermaids is a company that has been supporting transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse children since 1995. Starbucks wanted to partner with this company to help show support for the LGBTQ+ community, specifically those younger children who are making that transformation.
Their goals as a nonprofit is to reduce loneliness amongst community and family members, provide family and children with the tools needed to navigate the health and education systems, help children cope better with mental and emotional distress, and teach parents how to provide individual support during this transition. They began their campaign by showcasing an advert that tells a story of a young boy named James. The young boy is often found using his dead name, Gemma. But when he goes to Starbucks, he is able to give his true name, his new name, James. They then implemented this campaign onto social media platforms with the hashtag What's Your Name, asking people to tell their stories and post a photo with their limited edition mermaid cookie. Starbucks was using this cookie to raise money for the Mermaid organization with a goal of raising 100,000 euros. The social media platforms that they utilized were Twitter and Instagram, but their campaign began across digital and video on-demand platforms, as well as on YouTube. Starbucks' target audience is obviously the LGBTQ plus communities, specifically the gender diverse and transgender groups. They wanted people that were in the midst of their transition to come in and tell their story and feel comfortable in the third place, Starbucks. The campaign saw lots of success, both for Starbucks and their partner Mermaids. They met their goal of 100,000 euros, and Mermaids saw a 600% increase in their demand throughout the duration of the campaign. Starbucks later went on to win the Channel 4 Diversity in Advertising Award. Starbucks saw so much success in their campaign because they recognized that the moment they asked for someone's name, there had been a connection established with their customers. By doing further research, they uncovered how important it was to the transgender community. It was a mark of acceptance for them, something that can be rare in that community. Starbucks saw most of its success on heavily hashtag-based social media platforms such as Instagram and Twitter. The biggest part of the campaign was the advert they launched with, but they carried it over to platforms like Instagram and Twitter through their hashtag What's Your Name. Both Instagram and Twitter have a heavy focus on their hashtags, and both allow for text and photo, which were crucial for the social media campaign. The advert was also successful on YouTube and saw widespread engagement across the platform. Starbucks saw less success on platforms like Facebook. Though hashtags are still used on the platform, it is not utilized to the same degree as Instagram and Twitter. Facebook also has a larger engagement with older generations, which was not the target audience for this campaign. Again, Starbucks was trying to target the transgender community, specifically young people in the midst of their transition. The success of this campaign began with an understanding of a policy that already meant a lot to the brand's experience. Then, with further research, they found an underrepresented community that was deeply and positively affected by this policy. They built this campaign on true connections with their customers, something that deeply aligns with their values as a company, something that their customers already appreciate. They took real people with real experiences and matched it with their values. This was the equation of a success for Starbucks.